You're now tuning in to Fatima Bey, the MindShifter. Get ready to shift your thinking and turn it into success.
Hello, and thank you for listening. Today's message is entitled, Time for Change. Now, today's message is not for everyone. It really is for a particular type of person who's going through something in particular right now or repetitively. So, are you going through something right now? Do you find that you keep going through the same circles of pain and disappointment over and over again, especially with the same people, and sometimes even regret? Well, there are many reasons why this happens, but today I'm just going to focus on one of them. Now, the type of person I'm talking about today, you are the type that you are very loving, you are very giving, you want to see others do better, especially close friends and family. You love them so much, you want to see them gain. You want to see them rise. So, you go out of your way to try to help make that happen. And over again, you are disappointed, hurt, or sometimes made out to be the bad guy because you try to help raise them up, and that somehow makes you try to be better than them or something like that. Now, everybody doesn't get that response, but many of you do. So if you were that person, I'm talking to you today. Everyone else can just listen and try to learn. But I'm talking to that giving one who keeps trying to help those around them, and they're just disappointed over and over and over again. And they're hurt over and over and over again. And sometimes made out to be the bad guy by those same people. Well, I want you to know, first of all, you're not alone. There are lots of other people out there like you. I know because they talk to me and they tell me and I see it. So I'm addressing this today because I see it as a need for a lot of people to hear this message. So please replay it for that person if you know them and they're not listening right now. Now, one of the reasons why this happens is because we don't have limits. What it boils down to is not having balance, actually. I like to go a little deeper into subjects, so it's not just a matter of not having limits. The limits are a part of that balance. You see, everything in life that works has balance. When we don't have balance, there's all your problems. You see, it is a beautiful thing and a noble thing to give to others. It is wonderful to want to help others. And by the way, sidebar to this message, some of this is talking about me too. So I'm not talking at anyone. I'm talking with you and to you because I understand a lot of it. Now, some of us, like I said, we're very loving, we're very giving. We want to see other people rise. Anyone who knows me knows that I get really excited about lifting up other people. I get so excited about helping other people grow. And I'm not the only one who's like that. And some of us, we just love to give. We like to see people have. We don't want to see them lack. We don't want to see them hurt. We don't want to see them go through the same cycle of life over and over again, hurting themselves. And that's hard to watch. It's really hard to watch that. So we do the best we can to try to give to these people. The problem is, not everybody is in the same place when they're receiving. So let's go into some details about this type of person and the type of people that they quote unquote help. You see, when you go to help someone, sometimes you get these people that it's just like no matter how much you help them, they don't get better. They don't do better. Sometimes the reason has nothing to do with you. And sometimes no matter how much you give, no matter how much you put yourself out there, no matter how many sacrifices you make, this person, friend or family, because it doesn't really matter in terms of what I'm talking about, because sometimes they're friends and sometimes they're family. They don't get better. Sometimes it's because they don't want to get better. Sometimes they do not want to make the effort. You see, it's more, people would rather be comfortable than to grow. Growing requires challenge. So they don't like that. So they don't want to grow. So they don't. They keep letting you do for them because it's easier. Whether it's mental laziness, physical laziness, sometimes it's fear. But the unwillingness to do for themselves is actually made worse by your consistent help when it's not helping. So for those of you that are the helpers, because those are the ones I'm talking to today, when you see someone, you keep giving and giving the same, and you keep getting the same results, just like anything else in life. If you keep getting the same results, something's got to change. I'm not saying that you should try once and then give up on a person. Please don't misunderstand that, because that's definitely not true either. Some people need a little extra effort. But I'm talking about the ones who you do everything you can and they make no movements for themselves. Stop giving. Stop doing for those people. They are not going to get any better with your enabling. And that's exactly what it is. When you keep giving and doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results, and they are not budging for themselves, any movement that's been made is because you or someone else has made it. Those are not people that we should be reaching out to help. They are the people that need to learn on their own, because your assistance is enabling their laziness. They're comfortable with you doing for them so that they don't have to do for themselves. So, and again, I'm talking about different situations different scenarios within, the situation I described. So that's one of them. If someone is constantly doing the same, if you're constantly helping, you're constantly giving, and you get nothing but slack, you don't get appreciation, or maybe they once in a while say thank you, but they still don't make any movements for themselves, stop. Stop giving to them. You're an enabler. And although that's not your intention, although you may be a really wonderful person and have genuinely noble intentions, that doesn't mean that what you're doing is correct. You see, just because we have good intentions doesn't mean we're doing the right thing. And as I said, I admire the intentions behind, people that are trying to do good for others. But doing good and doing right are two different things, really. Just because you have good intentions doesn't mean that you need to keep doing what you're doing. Sometimes it may hurt to stop because you think, well, I really just want to help them. And, you got your heart in the right place, but not your brain. Your heart and your brain are two different things. So you really have to stop enabling them. Now, some of the other reasons why is sometimes they're lazy, sometimes it's fear, sometimes they're afraid to do for themselves. So it's easier for them to allow you to keep doing for them. Well, keep doing for them or giving to them, whichever way. Sometimes this is financially, sometimes it's emotionally, sometimes it's physically with things. Sometimes it's with things instead of money. It's with stuff. It could be many different ways that you're assisting or helping them. But sometimes there's fear involved in the other party, the person you're helping. And sometimes you enabling that fear to continue on doesn't help them either. So in the first case I said it's just because they're lazy and you've made them comfortable. And so they just keep sitting around and letting you do it. And sometimes parents, I'm talking about your children too. It doesn't really change from parent to child or friend, sister to brother, and vice versa, and etc. Relationships to humans is where this is applicable, regardless of what position that human is in. So you need to think of it that way. So as I was saying, you sometimes it's laziness, And you've made them comfortable by enabling them to keep doing the same things for them over and over again. And sometimes they're scared. They're scared to try it on their own. They have this fear, but they'll never get out of that fear. And that doesn't make them a bad person either. The laziness, yeah, that makes them bad, honestly. But the person full of fear, that doesn't necessarily make them bad. It just means that they're too scared to go out and try on their own. So you enabling that fear to continue and be maintained does not help them. Sometimes you stopping forces them to get up some courage and make some steps. Now, if they make some steps and they stumble, I'm all about being there for people when they stumble. But if they keep doing the same thing over again and nothing's changing, then I'm not about helping you up again. You're going to need to get help on your own. And when you get a little further, and I've seen some effort, then I'll help you again. Sometimes tough love is the only way. Now, the other part of that, what happens if you don't cut these people off? Yep, you should cut them off eventually. If they keep just taking from you, not showing appreciation, not really changing, taking, you're giving, but it's really not bearing fruit, then you might need to cut them off. You see, there's a reason why we don't plant seeds on the sidewalk. Nothing can grow there. The only thing that grows on the sidewalk is things that are between the cracks. But you don't put seeds on cement because it can't grow, right? The deposits that you're making in this person or people, they're not growing because you're putting seeds on the sidewalk. So what you have to do, you have to look at them and say, am I putting seeds on the sidewalk, or am I putting my seeds into soil? Is this going to produce something for them? Not even for you, because you're doing it because you care about them. So is this really going to produce something for them? And if it's just more of the same and them taking and taking, you giving and giving, it's not producing anything for them. In fact, it's doing the opposite for you. See, what happens is you end up depositing into these people. You end up doing for these people. And eventually it's taking from you. It's taking from your finances. It's taking from you emotionally. It's removing some of your energy. That is all bad. If you're going to do that, if you're going to make the sacrifice and do that for someone, let it be because it's producing for them. Not because they're taking and taking and taking. So for some of you, you may need to walk away from certain people. And yes, that's even if they're family. You may need to, doesn't mean you never talk to them again and say, you're just a taker and I hate you, and you never talk to them again. Please don't take it that far. Okay, I know in some families people do that, but you don't need to take it that far. But what I am saying is that you may need to separate yourself. You may need to keep yourself at a distance. Start saying no when they ask you for things. Stop offering so much. And sometimes you may need to have that conversation with them. And I know not everybody's, relational or familial, their family or relationships in their family or friends are not at a level where maybe they're comfortable having that conversation, because our dynamics are not all the same. But if you can, that conversation can be helpful, because that conversation in combination with you stopping being their lifeline might actually push them into doing the right thing for themselves. But again, you need to stop overgiving and overextending yourself. And if they make you feel bad because you think you're better than me because you're always giving, when you never said that, you're not even thinking that, and I have seen that happen. That is not about you, that's about them. That's their issue. They know you're better than them, or they feel you're better than them, and that's why they bring it up when you didn't, or have that attitude. That has to do with them and not you. Please, if you're listening to this and you are the person that I'm talking about, that audience that I'm talking to today, don't beat yourself up for what everyone else is not doing. When you've done all that you can do, and I do believe we should do all that we can do for the people around us, but once you've reached that point and you've done all you can do and nothing is changing, it's time for you to change and move on. Stop planting seeds on the sidewalk. I want you to write that down and put it on your refrigerator, your mirror, your phone, your dashboard, in your car, wherever you need to put it. Don't sow seeds on the sidewalk. Stop trying to plant seeds in cement. It's not going to grow. It's not going to go anywhere. until they want it to. Now, my hopes are that you got something out of this message and that you take this message as a part of your own self-care. And you move on and you grow and don't let anybody hold you back. You've been listening to Fatima Bey, the MindShifter. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, please email me at radio@fatimabey.com. That's radio@fatimabey.com. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Tune in next week for another segment of Fatima Bey, the MindShifter. For more of her teachings, subscribe to her YouTube channel at Fatima Bey, the MindShifter.